Now, Justin, thank you for joining us. And whilst we are meant to cross to you for the cricket, news has just come in that the Two Oceans Marathon has also been cancelled.
Yeah, good morning, Nicole, from my windy Cape Town and Langa cricket ground, as you mentioned. Yes, news just coming to us, shortly to talk about the fact that, unfortunately, the Two Oceans Marathon Board has decided to cancel the event that is due to take place in April, but due to the corona pandemic. And I think a bold step by them. A lot of leagues around the world. Other events in Cape Town Jazz Festival, the Cape Town Carnival also being cancelled. Yesterday I attended a drifting event at Killarney where Alderman J.P. Smith was present, and he had mentioned as well that ultimately was the last event to take place. But big news for the Two Oceans Marathon, an event that is widely supported. The runners no doubt will be quite disappointed. I've seen a few posts over the course of the weekend where the runners are getting their time on the road, spending quality time on the road in preparation for this Two Oceans Marathon, and I think they too will be very disappointed. But I think the right call has been made at the end of the day, based on what is currently happening around the world, and it's not a unique situation to South Africa, and ultimately we need to fit in whereby that is the case. We also, having arrived here at this event this morning, it was mentioned that the organisers are considering actually cancelling the rest of the event. It's just about close to being halfway into the event, and teams from around the world, India, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, Australia, they all are participating in the Over 50s World Cup, and it's going to be a big call even from them to decide that, to make this decision during a course of a tournament, whereas, we'll have to wait and see for that.
100%. Now, whilst a lot of the runners are disappointed, I think we are at critical stage. COVID-19 has resulted in sport being cancelled literally left, right and centre. And earlier, Stormers coach John Dobson alluded to the negative financial impact that all these cancellations have. I don't think people realise that a lot of these stadiums and a lot of these events include vendors who get paid per that match or per that particular event. And so they're not getting an income any longer. So how do we foresee, the COVID-19 virus with all these cancellations creating an extensive array of other problems, Justin?
Yeah, no, it's a point that needs to be discussed as well. The Absa Cape Epic that was due to have started today with the prologue out at the University of Cape Town. That too having been cancelled sort of, just last week or towards the end of the week. And that in itself, investors and sponsors of these events put money up front into these events. And they will have to just count their losses in terms of those kind of things. So it's big corporates. It's these vendors that attend rugby matches. Super rugby matches are being postponed. The vendors that attend these things. So a lot of these sort of lower level people too are being affected. In terms of that, they won't be able to have any generation of income. And, we certainly do hope that this is a situation that really gets cleared up very quickly so that, these people don't get to lose out too much. We see here in Langa, there's a few people that have come out, but also very minimal, I think just subliminally knowing that they need to make sure that they do not find themselves in a public space and to protect themselves against all of that.
Justin, with you mentioning the bigger corporates, a lot of the sponsors that are losing out because, of course, they put money on this. I do think that's something that they can make up elsewhere at a later stage with other events, other sport as well. But if we look at the lower level people, and I really have to say this, if you can't feed your family because you're a security guard at some event or a match, my fear is, am I not going to go ahead and look at crime? The crime rate in this country is already high.
No, absolutely, Nicole. It's a very scary thought, and we have to think of those people, being able to work at those events and earning an income. And part of earning an income is being able to provide for your family not only sustenance but also medical care. And medical care is of an important stage at the moment, whereby our families need to be protected against any form of virus or illness. So it really is a scary situation at the moment, and we just, as I mentioned, hope that these things turn around for the better, and that the as you mentioned, the security guards can return to work sooner rather than later?
Yeah, we really hope it definitely does turn around. Now, back to the event that you are at currently, Justin, and more on a lighter note. We mentioned the over 50s cricket. Now, there are various formats in cricket. We have our T20, our first-class cricket being the 4-day, and we also have the 50 overs. But this 50 overs is not really about the format. It's more about gentlemen who are over the age of 50 playing in this Cricket World Cup, which I understand started out in 2017. So for our viewers at home who are hearing about this for the first time, can you give us more, Justin?
Absolutely. So, as simple as it sounds, each player for their country needs to be over the age of 50 and over. So we have the likes of Dave Callahan, competing, Alan Dawson as well. Alan Donald is the coach of the South African team. So it's an exciting time, and I think a time where, a lot of these players potentially did not have the chance to play for their country back then. We think of a Nazim White that comes from an area close to Langa-Bonteheuwel that didn't get that opportunity. But that in itself is done and dusted now. They've been playing. It's an exciting time. It's 45 overs that these guys play. Just before we started crossing the 24 overs that elapsed, the Indians are batting first, and they are on 67 for 4. So, the South African team, having done well so far, this is their third match. They've won their first 2 and hoping to make it 3 in a row. The other matches also take place at the same time, but at various venues around the Cape area from tomorrow onwards. Should the competition continue, they would move to the Franschhoek, Stellenbosch area, where those cricket fields will be used. But these guys really just enjoying themselves out in the field. I mean, having retired way back when, never would have thought that they would have been able to get back onto the field. And here they are, donning the green and gold and really having some fun with some of their former teammates.
Inspirational indeed, Justin. I hope they have a great day. We're going to have to leave it there for now. That was my colleague and ENCA's Justin Ford joining us live from Langa in Cape Town.